Hey y'all, this is Daniel. Uh, I sat here for a minute trying to decide what approach I should take when it comes to the matter of this video. And eventually, I decided just to start talking. Um, the focus of this video today is, well, James Cameron and his conduct and behavior. As many people know, I'm sure, he's the director for the Avatar movies and the newest one, Way of Water, coming out. And it's possible the movie's good. I've heard it is. I don't plan on seeing it. And the primary reason for that, I should say, is I think we need to quit feeding into these toxic ass people, for lack of a better phrase. Some examples is, his declaration that testosterone is a toxin you have to slowly work out of your system. He clearly has no idea what role testosterone plays in a male's body, period, or a female's for that matter. It actually plays an essential role in masculinity, but it's just more of that, neofeminism ruckus going on where anything male is bad. The irony being that they're trying to push women to take males' place in the same role that males were, and then they're calling that brave. The standard hypocrisy of the left, if you will. If you do it, it's wrong, it's toxic. If we do it, it's empowering type crap. Him talking about having depictions of pregnant women voluntarily engaging in non-essential combat was the next step in female empowerment. How utterly ludicrous that is, right there. Granted, I can't speak from personal experience either. It's pretty clear he's never been a pregnant woman either. To my understanding, it's a severe drain on the system. You're tired, you're sore, you're upset all the time, which is to be expected. There is basically, it's its own little thing going on in your body. Not to say they're not capable of doing stuff, especially during the various stage of pregnancy, because a lot of them are, but especially as the pregnancy continues, engaging in such activity drastically increases the risk to the unborn child. So a lot of the reason why they don't do that isn't because they're not tough. It's because they don't want to risk the health of their baby. For him saying that, it's female empowerment to basically risk your pregnancy just to show how tough you are, that type of crap is the toxic masculinity that these neo-feminists keep talking about. It makes me shake my head. And I think a lot of the issue is because women felt like the roles they played in life were not acknowledged enough. They didn't get pats on the back for raising the kids and all this stuff. And these are all important things. Society didn't glorify the process because, to be blunt, it's a lot of work. But if you look at like Hollywood and stuff like that, a lot of the masculine elements have a tendency to get glorified. They get the big explosions and all the blockbuster films and all that stuff. So perhaps these neo-feminists, and I say neo-feminists because traditional feminists have a tendency not to go down that toxic route. They focus on, equality of opportunity, which I fully support. And I think what they do now is just, all they do is lashing out. They think that guys got a lot more accolades, societally speaking, which, to be fair, is true. With the Hollywood movies and all that stuff, it makes it look a lot better being man. But let me tell you, it's a pain in the ass. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of pain, you're tired, and the fact is, nobody gives a crap. You are there to do your job and to give them what they want or need, and outside of that, you're just wrong. No matter what you're doing, you're wrong. That's the reality of being a guy in society. It's not about pats on the back or anything, because most guys don't care when it comes to that. We're not nearly as emotional in general as women tend to be. So we don't get nearly as many accolades and acknowledgments as you seem to think because Hollywood pushes it. Most of the time, we're ignored. We're either in the way or we're serving somebody else, and that's our lives. And you wonder why the stress and heart attack rates of males are significantly higher. Because life is a pain in the ass. We just do what we can to make it worth it. So they think, they replace men's role. And of course, to do that, they have to make, like in Hollywood, All the males become betas because you can't challenge the heroine character. So they're in this alpha role and all that stuff, and they think that's going to make them feel better about themselves. Guess what? I can tell you now, it's not. It's going to put a lot more pressure on you. You're going to be stressed, and when you're in that alpha role, nobody cares if you're happy. They only care that you provide. That's the reality. That's not going to change because that's how people are. So you get like James Cameron, pushing this stupid crap about pregnant women in non-essential combat crap. For one, if it was essential, I could understand it. If you're in a situation where you have to go out there and fight or you're going to get killed, yeah, and that's rough. Because, like I said, if you're pregnant, you're already tired, you're heavier more, so your feet are going to hurt, your calves are going to be sore and tight. It's just going to be a sucky experience, period. But non-essential implies that they're choosing to go do it. That's the type of machoism that's considered toxic. But it's not toxic if they do it, but it's only toxic if guys do it. This level of hypocrisy is a big part of what undermines traditional feminism in general. So it makes me shake my head. Then you add on, I saw another article, or he was leaving one of the showings of the Avatar Way of Water, and there were some people there just, cheering for him, wanting an autograph, and he just blew them off, just walked right through them. And when they started getting mad about it, he flipped him off before he left. This guy, this beta male jackwagon, trying not to cuss too much, he is an example of toxic. He is the very thing that he claims to be against, but he hides it with his virtue signaling and trigger words, trying to act like he gives a crap about anything other than himself. So that is why I will not watch the movie, because I have no intention of supporting him in any way. Because that is the only way you can address people. The elites, they don't give a crap what you think. They just care that you spend their money and they get it. That's all it is. But we're at a point where we have this need for entertainment, this need for distraction, because life is stressful. It's a pain in the ass, and all we want to do is escape it for a little bit at a time. And he capitalizes on that. And people fall for it, and that enables his behavior, and he gets worse. You see that pattern in so many celebrities and elites. It's utterly ridiculous. But people can't control their impulses or find other avenues of dealing with their stress than feeding into these people, because they distract them from their lives. That mechanism, that dynamic, is a big part of why the elites in Hollywood and all that have become such a toxic group. There are exceptions, of course. There are some generally decent people. Genuinely decent people. But the majority of them, they're two-faced as hell. They play these characters that we fall in love with because we want to think that the world has people like that in it. And it breaks our hearts to see that the real person is nothing like the one they are on the screen. And a lot of people, it's like a cognitive dissonance. They insist on believing this person is still the person they play because they so desperately want to think they're real. Because it hurts realizing they're not. My assessment, be honest. If they're toxic, they're toxic. I don't care if they play the nicest person in the world on film. What they do behind the camera is what matters. Just like what James Cameron is doing behind the camera. He's completely undermining all these things he claims to care about. He's insulting the very people that came to support him because he just can't be bothered with his lessers. He's a piece of trash. Anyway, I was just kind of venting, to be fair. Working on other videos and all that, but I just kind of had to get this off my chest because it just really rubbed me the wrong way he's been acting. And yet people are supposed to kiss his feet because he made a movie. Really? No. I'm done with him. You have a good one.